almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and bathe in your blood!
Jolie, what are you doing here?
Laura sent me, Summary. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. So I thought. But the cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. Cellcath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offloaders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Very well. Once you've got...
Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
How much for all this stuff, Tybark?
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi unko tune chuna muri ra. Tangi mama jikona. Donki pa nonku nek abog.
Thanks, Tybark. Catch you next week.
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi unko tune chuna muri ra. Tangi mama jikona. Donki mama agi unko tune. Kotangi mama ji agi unko tune. Tong pa noku. Donki mama agi unko tune. Kotangi mama ji agi unko tune. Tong pa noku. Tong hitwama agi inkotune. Kakinja nawabakaon, pichage borang kurang, nada chap. Chiwi aita katon chicha, at tong hitwama agi inkotune, kotong. Jiska dosoki, topa bono nakachi. Kakinja nawabakaon, pichage borang. Chiwi aita katon chicha, agi inkotune, tong hitwama agi inkotune, kotong hit. Chiwa aita kan chicha na, chiwi aita ka. Kon mulis limo po iwanga kun. La boda na winki smak toma. Jiska da tuka urwan. La boda na winki smak toma. O babat.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. No way I'm lying to the court just because you want to get your Republic buddy off or whatever. I have no interest in going to prison. What do you want? Elasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on. There were only two other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firith Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know? Well...
Kun salkat, Shona mulira tong Glupor. Glupor tong hitwana ji salkat agi inkotune Glupor mul. Glupor Lupor yun tun chiwi ita. Ora un chikne mulirad. Lupor inbanit chalora kun. Lupor chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Lupor nibo jimata. Lupor tang hit wama jisalkat ad inko tune tang kinba no kun niksa. Lupor pichage borang turang. Lupor wangki yumabat malyaw no wish. Kun muli ras limo poi wanga kun makachisag lupor. Tang abag sinshan lupor ninong kili. Lupor chiwaka aita kan kicha na selkat. Lupor sha. Lupor pampa ki muli ra kun king. Lupor chachopa. Si chawa tang itzalkat mama jiko na. Lupor ag inko tune. Lupor no muli ra. Chula muli ra. Tang pa no kun. No nek. Lupor chachop.
You with the cell, Kath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me? Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alassa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics, usually. I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself. Well, Alassa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Well, one time, I saw Alassa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alassa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest. Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me. Ready? Sure. No problem. Got it. Ready? Yes?
You, Jedi, I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface. This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. Sunri and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes? Dear, dear. I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
Welcome to Manan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid. I don't know much about the facts of the case, but I find it hard to believe. I never met Sunri, but he's a hero of the Republic, not a murderer. The so-called evidence against him is an obvious frame-up. It has to be. The Sith must have plotted Sunri's downfall to embarrass and discredit the Republic. If you want to solve this mess, I would focus on the Sith. That or check out the murder scene at the hotel. Talk to the other guests. Maybe they know something. I regret I could not be of more assistance in your investigation. Is there anything else? KOTOR is a precious resource. Its healing powers are near miraculous. As long as we have the permits, we will continue to harvest KOTOR and ship it to our Republic soldiers. If there was some way we could gain an edge over the Sith in our KOTOR supply... Oh, of course I'll do whatever. An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manan? Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first. No. You do what I want and maybe I can help you out. Until then, nothing. We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Otto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Phyraxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back. It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and that is what we would ask you. There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far. Good. It's a logical place to start. But you should also hear about the other options available to you. We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to gain access that way. Good. It is a very intelligent and skilled individual who can crack the matrices of a Sith encryption system. But there is one last method you should know about in case all other options fail. The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance to the Sith enclave. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier